Hi there Aries, thank you for joining me for your year 2013 forecast. There are 365 days in each year, so how can I make this meaningful for you? Well, I feel the most important thing to do is to provide you with an overview of what the framework is going to be in a very clear and concise way, and then you can fill in the details for my weekly and monthly forecasts. But to begin this year, we have to actually rewind back to November of last year, when there was a solar and lunar eclipse on the 11th and 28th respectively. These two work together and they're going to be in operation for you round to the first week of May. What they're saying to you is that when it comes to your desire to improve your financial situation, there could be a certain amount of mental stress. Certainly you're going to have to work very hard, but Saturn, which is in this part of your horoscope too, is cooperating very well with Pluto for the first 4 months of this year. So if you can be organised and very structured, there is a chance to make progress. And your ambitions come under the spotlight at the very start of this year, under the solar return, when the Sun is side by side with Pluto. Mercury then goes alongside Mercury early in January, and then later in the month so does Venus. So I do feel that you're going to be thinking an awful lot about your role in life. Now this can relate to property, it can relate to a position or status in terms of employment, or how you link in with the wider world. But there is a little bit of a push-pull thing going on here, because this is all saying to you that if you play things with a straight bat, that you're conventional and you do what society expects of you, you're going to make greater progress. The problem is you probably won't want to do that because your ruler Mars is going to be clashing with Saturn from the 3rd to the 12th of January, and it's an early indication that with Mars in this part of your horoscope at the start of the year, forming an angle with Uranus but also with Jupiter, there's another side of you that's much more inventive, original, and wants to really be innovative in your approach, and that isn't necessarily going to mesh together with this more traditional demands. Also, we're going to see that Saturn is going to go backwards from the middle of February for 5.5 months in your sector of resources. So if you want improvement in these areas, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and really go for it. Now the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, which occur in May, well, these are a bit different. These occur in terms of your everyday financial situation, but the lunar eclipse occurs in your sister fire sign of Sagittarius, and this could see you very resentful of having to keep your nose to the grindstone and be very careful about your financial output. Now it happens, strangely, that March is still a very good month to start anything anew. And you could put lots of things in motion then, or re-energize things that have been in progress for some while in a very positive way. Now at the start of June, Jupiter, the planet of fortune, which is until then in your sector of communications, moves into a more homely area. And it's saying to you that in the second half of this year, perhaps there can be some developments about where you live in terms of additions to the family and so forth. And it can be exciting if you are wanting to expand your clan, or you're wanting to make your home the happy family basis that you had at the start in your mind at the start of this year. But the next really very important thing that happens is that Uranus does clash with Pluto really for the last 8 months of this year. And this is much trickier. This is something that was in progress for much of last year too, and it can see you really bucking against any conventional pressure to commit and be as other people want you to be. That's not necessarily going to be easy for you. And then in October we have a lunar eclipse, and this lunar eclipse is in a part of your horoscope which is very much to do with joys and friendliness, but unfortunately it meshes together with the solar eclipse of November in a way which suggests that a certain amount of jealousy or possessiveness can come into play in the latter part of this year. So you can see that resources, conventionality, working hard, money, property, pensions, all these kind of things are going to be very much to the fore all through this year. Thank you for joining me, good luck and goodbye for now.